Continuing. Namaste. Welcome everyone for today's webinar on Hindu Dharmic Parenting. I'm Ankur Patel, Director of Outreach for HUA, and joining us is Dr. Kalika Uttarkar, Faculty, Continuing Education, Community Education, taught several courses, incredible person with us. But this topic of Hindu Dharmic Parenting, what an interesting idea and important and relevant to so many of us. Thank you for joining from wherever you are joining us from today. And so we're going to explore the art and the science of parenting, right? It's rooted in timeless wisdom. We know there's so much in the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, just so many shastras, just the history of yoga. There's so much wisdom for us to tap into in all aspects of our lives, right? Including parenting. So this webinar and the course that Kalika ji will be teaching delve into parenting as a shared spiritual journey, fostering holistic growth. And actually, that's what HUA is about, right? We're on a shared spiritual journey. We're trying to foster holistic growth. We're offering different courses, programs, and of course, these weekly webinars that I'm glad to host. And thank you for joining today. And Dr. Uttarkar, I think you must have been on several, maybe a dozen webinars by now as a panelist. We'll see. Maybe that's another chart I have to put together. But the physical, the emotional, intellectual, and spiritual, right? The holistic growth for both the parent and the child, for the entire family. And so there's so many tools that we can use to nurture children who are not only successful, but that help them become successful, but also spiritually grounded, ethically resilient, capable of facing life's challenges with wisdom and balance. So this courses and this webinar will talk mostly to parents, right? Guardians, educators from all sorts of backgrounds and cultures. And there's different styles of parenting, right?
Yes.
You know the different stories depending on where you were born and where you migrated to, and the way that affects how you parent, how we were parented. The course offers valuable insights for fostering a stable spiritual and cultural identity in this multicultural environment. And as always, Dr. Uttakar carefully and skillfully balances tradition with the need for adaptation in today's complex world. So with that, let me I already mentioned Dr. Uttakar a little bit, some background, but she herself is a distinguished scholar. She holds both an MA and PhD degrees in philosophy from the University of Pune. She earned her master's in psychotherapy and counseling, and she's got over 25 years of experience. This last time when we were at Pine Lake retreat for the little bit before the Waves conference, we had a little work retreat, and the Waves conference, we had a chance to talk about it. And Dr. Uttarkar is her experience transcends everything. And so it's so great to have somebody like this who can share wisdom in whatever vehicle, whatever medium, in person, online. Just glad to have Dr. Uttakar with us today. So with that, let me hand it to Kalikaji to get us started, and questions in the Q&A box. I know there's some people with the hand raised. If you'd like to, I can unmute people and allow them to speak as well. So with that, I'm glad to be here. What a challenging topic, yes, but an interesting one. Dilipji from Maryland, namaste. Rohitji, thank you for joining. Shirajji from Bangalore, Jay Gurudevji, yes, great. Okay, thank you. Now really to you.
Namaste to all, and thank you, Ankurji. It's always a pleasure conducting webinar along with you. Your energy adds to everything, and yes, thank you to all the viewers who have joined on your weekend. And it is my pleasure to present before you a new course from HUA, and this is about parenting. We have been thinking about this for very long, and we thought that this is one way where we will create an opportunity for the young parents and the grandparents and the existing parents with elder kids and educators, teachers, and everybody for that matter, that we immerse ourselves into Hinduism and then empower ourselves to transfer this wisdom to the new generation, who they have their own challenges, they have their own difficulties, and we need to help them to hold this knowledge and then apply in their day-to-day life, because knowledge without application doesn't really help anybody. So any form of knowledge, it has to be brought at the level of our day-to-day life, behavior, understanding, perspective, and then of course our action, the way we conduct ourselves, and the way we create an impact in our environment, in our society, in our family, and all that begins with parenting. So where from does parenting really start? So, if we are talking in terms of Hinduism, if you are talking from the perspective of the Sanatan Dharma, then the concept of parenting begins even before conception. When we talk about 16 sanskaras, when we talk about marriage as an institution, then before even the process of conception, the parents, would be parents, need to be prepared with a mindset, with the will to welcome a jiva who is wanting to grow, wanting to grow physically, emotionally, as well as spiritually. And then, with that mindset, when that jiva is coming, is choosing you as your parent, as its parents, and then it is a huge responsibility, that how do we take care of that jiva, how do we nurture, and then in the process, of course, it is a second life for the parents, because as you all know, if we learn something, and then if we are told to give a presentation on it, or if we are told to teach somebody, then in fact we learn more. So as parents, we all know that we learn many things in our life, but in true sense, I think we learn them when we become parents. And that is the process of co-learning, co-growth. So we thought of coming up with this course on parenting, and this is a course spread out into 2 quarters. So it is not just a 1 quarter course, but this is a 2 quarter course. So it would always benefit if you uh, join for both the quarters, because the subject matter is distributed in such a way. Now, should I join part one first and part two? I would say yes. But by any chance, if you cannot join part one and you do your part two, then even then it makes sense doing your part two first and then doing your part one. But holistically, this is a journey of self development, and then taking this forward to the new generation. So I would say that parenting is not an easy task. And speaking on for parenting is also not an easy task, because each parent is different, each child is different, each scenario is different. Even then, we want to develop a perspective where we can add to the betterment of the child, family, and the society. So let me share my PowerPoint, and then I would take you through the course.
And we can see the webinar results. What is this? 14 first-timers. Thank you for joining. 13 regulars. 20 have attended before, and 12 people have taken a course at HOA before. 3 program enrollments and 21 people considering. Glad to have all of you with us today.
So, yes, thank you, Ankurji. And thank you for that all generous introduction also that we started with. And looking forward to have interaction with all our participants who have joined today. So before that, I would like to take you through few slides and try to give you an overview of the course that we have designed. So the first and the foremost question that comes into our mind is, why parenting? Now, parenting is required because all the species in this world, they do some kind of parenting in some form, in the maybe in minutest form, or maybe more elaborately. Like human beings tend to do it more elaborately, but even birds, they have some instinctive understanding about parenting. They help their they help their children to become strong, and how they can navigate in this world on this earth. So everybody is into parenting now. How does it differ for an human being? So there are many parents who feel that this is sad, but yes, because I'm also a counselor, I often come across people and they ask me this question: why are these modern thinkers creating a facade about parenting? Is it not natural that we grew up in our families and then our kids will grow in our families? Why should there be a meaningful parenting? Is it natural? I would say yes, it is natural. Parenting is natural because it is not a created facade or nothing which has come out of modern times, but since ages, since antiquity, parenting has been part of human society. And every parent has this wish that their children are much, they are better versions of them. They face life challenges in a much with more strength, with more understanding, with more wisdom, with more skills. And every parent is trying to equip their children, and so this concept of parenting comes in. But nevertheless, in modern times there are many challenges, and that these are technology and screen time. So this is the most important challenge that we are facing, not just with the children, but this challenge is there with the parents, it is also with the grandparents. So how to deal with that is a very important issue. It's a current issue that if we do not deal with it, then there is going to be a major problem in coming 10 years or 15 years. The society will have a total different issues to deal with. Then there is a lot of cyberbullying, online safety. How do we equip our children with that? That is also a very important issue these days. Work life balance is a major thing. Work life balance is not just for parents but even for these children, because you see, they have this over scheduled lifestyle. So they come from the school, then they have to they don't even have much time to relax. They have to go and they are sent to different classes. So they will be following some art form, they will be learning some extra skills, some, you know, courses which will help them in their school education. So they are also overpacked, and they are sometimes busier than the parents. That is one challenge, how to deal with that. So do they really need a free time? What is this life full of care? We have no time to stand and stare, isn't this? So that is a, a very hard situation, even for the students, even for the children, young children. So we need to think about that and what Hinduism talks about it. Then the second issue that we are facing is information overload. So too much of information. We are, you know, it says that you are what you eat. So I would put it in a different way: you are what you consume. And we are consuming tremendous amount of information, we are consuming tremendous amount of entertainment, and we are constantly looking out for something to fill in our internal gaps. So this overload, how to deal with that? Then of course they have increased academic pressure, and then the family structures are also changing. So initially, it was a big family with grandparents, uncles, and aunties, and cousins, and all of them. Then it came down to uh, just mother and father and the kids, and now it's going on to single parenting. And so the scenarios are changing socially, the family structures are also changing, and therefore, this role of parenting is also having challenges, and then we need to think about that. And of course, social media is there, and as a cause of all this, mental health is, I would say, more than earlier. This is an era of being aware of mental health, because that is being sabotaged by many things. So these are certain challenges. Not, I haven't covered all the challenges, but just to have an understanding, we have so many challenges, and therefore, parenting, meaningful parenting, becomes important. Now, the next question is, okay, we understand why parenting and meaningful parenting is important, but why Hindu Dharmic parenting? Many people will have this question. And I would say that Hindu Dharmic parenting has become more and more relevant today. Why has it become? Because for very simple reasons, that uh, I would say that past two generations of parents, have gradually lost their touch with Hinduism. And therefore, it is very important that we understand what is Hinduism. So, this course on parenting is also an understanding of what is Hinduism. If somebody really wants to have a glimpse of understanding of what Hinduism really means and what is it that we have to take forward. See, we have been taking forward certain ritualistic and customary aspect of Hindu Dharma. So our grandparents were following these rituals. So my parents were following these rituals, and we are also following. Yes, that is one vehicle. But is that all? We need something more because the new generation is more logical. They want answers for their questions, and you would see that they ask so many questions, and the parents are sometimes equipped, but most of the time, many parents, as they talk to me, I see that they are not equipped to answer the questions of their children. And therefore, I feel that the fundamental need and the purpose of this course is also to empower the parents and the children with the knowledge of Hinduism, what Hinduism really means, what is the essence of Hinduism. And that therefore, Hindu parenting or Dharmic parenting, Vedic parenting, Sanatan parenting, whatever you call it, all this becomes more and more relevant. Secondly, especially when we are living out of Bharat, we are living in other countries, we are also navigating to different cultural environments, then our children should know what who they are, what is their inner basic identity. I would say they should know their cultural identity, they should know their spiritual identity, then probably they will be in a better position to navigate their social identity, geographical identity, and they will try to amalgamate everything together and come out with a better way of understanding. So, that is one main thing that we will tackle in this course, and we will help the parents to handle these kind of situations. Secondly, there is an identity crisis, and therefore that leads to confusion. Who am I? Where from I belong? Hinduism, what is it? Is it my religion or is it my parents' religion? What is my connection with my language? What is my connection with the food culture that I'm having? How relevant are these Hindu festivals in my life? What significance does it have? These are the questions that children really face, and sometimes they ask their parents. So it's not like the soldier on the battlefield and we tell the soldier that do not ask why, just do and die. That's not the situation. Children need answers, they need discussions, they need dialogues. So this course will help us to develop this kind of communication with the kids so that there is some clarity about their identity, there is some clarity about the roles that they are playing, so, to remove this confusion, and last but not least, when the children are going outside into the schools and they are not taught um, a proper history, a proper understanding about their country, about their culture, and then they are in the minority, they are immigrants, then there is a lack of confidence and pride. They are confused. So, they don't know where do I stand? Where does my culture stand? How important it is? How powerful it is? So nobody wants to associate with failure. Nobody wants to associate with weakness. Nobody wants to associate with something that is very remote. Nobody wants to associate something that is embarrassing. And therefore, the confidence level comes down. So, how to increase confidence in our children and basically how to gain confidence within us as parents, and then pride will follow. So, first, there has to be love, then there is confidence, and then there is pride. So, how can we develop this in regards to our culture, civilization, history, and Hinduism at large? So, this course basically will not teach in depth about all these issues, but this will help to create ways and methodology of how to develop ourselves on these different grounds and how to take them to the children. So, developing tools, using some already existing tools and creating new tools is very necessary because the time is always changing. It has to be a dynamic process. So, this course basically is a transformative course. It explores the art and science of parenting. So there is a lot of science in parenting. So at what age the child should start eating, at what age the child should start walking, at what age does the child start thinking, at what age the sanskaras become important. All this is part of science. But how can we bring all this wisdom and knowledge into day to day life is very artistic. So, as a mother, as a father, in a playful way, in a happy environment, how can we bring this? This shouldn't be a burden for the parents, nor it should be for the children. It should be in an easy way. Now, when we were living in our own country with all our relatives and culture around us, things appeared to be easy. But it is a challenging thing when we once we are out of our country, when we are navigating through different cultures. Even then, can we bring it into our life? And if yes, what could be the methods? That is the main thing. And then we are drawing inspiration from Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Yoga. So believe me, in this course, we will be dealing with all aspects of Hinduism, but the focus will be in nourishing the roots of the tree. So, philosophy, it nourishes the roots of the tree. Once those roots are strong, then what happens? The trunk of the tree is the culture, and this culture goes through the branches. And then in the leaves and in the fruits, we see our behavior, our festivals, expression of our culture. But basically, where from the inner inspiration comes and what is the goal of everything is rooted deep into our philosophical tradition. And there is a huge gap in our society when we think about this philosophical wisdom. So, tell me please, do our schools teach us about the Indian philosophy? Do they teach us about Bhagavad Gita? Do they tell us how to apply Bhagavad Gita into day to day life? Do they tell us what is yoga, or it is just yoga, few exercises and few breathing exercises and 2 3 minutes of meditation? Is that what is yoga? Now if imagine if this was to be taught from the age of 1 and 2, from the family, if it would have started, and then if it was enhanced into the school, imagine what kind of people and personalities would grow up. Now, that is the effort we are trying to make. If when we are parents, grandparents, teachers, or even neighbors for that matter. So, whoever we are, we have this inner responsibility of transferring this wisdom. But we are not equipped what kind of methods we can use. And that becomes important. So, the first responsibility is gaining knowledge ourselves and then developing methods to impart. So this is the intention of this whole course. So yes, of course, how we can help the child to evolve on physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual level. And of course, the parent also should be in the journey. So that is the main part of this course. Now, what is the goal of this dharmic parenting is balance between tradition and adaptation. So it is not complete assimilation into whatever culture we are into. If we are into UK, US, Mauritius, Bangladesh, wherever we are, there is a strong culture existing. Now, how do we develop our own cultural identity and how skillfully can we navigate through that while still maintaining the pride and knowledge of our things? So, let me put it in a very simple example. In a family where parents are balanced and well developed individuals and they have a very good emotional bonding with the child, for some reason the child needs to stay away from the house, and the child goes and stays with some of their connections, maybe friends or maybe a distinct family, and the child is staying there. Now the child has to assimilate into that environment, but emotionally and on the level of knowledge, if the child is very well aware that these are my uncle and aunties, my parents are those, and I have a strong connection with them. And if the communication between the child and the parents is still ongoing, just that for the sake of education I'm staying with this family, the child is absolutely clear about its identity, its role, and the amount of assimilation and the areas of assimilation where one has to exert and one where one has to abstain. So this vivek, the power of discretion of what to adapt and what not to adapt, needs to be developed. Now, the same thing applies to the cultural aspect also. What is my culture? What is the strength of my culture? If I'm very confident and knowledgeable about it, I have this power to decide, to choose, to discern what I need to accept and what I need not accept. And now there is no um, ill faith, or there is no hatred towards any culture or any religion or any society for that matter. But our knowledge and our culture teaches us to respect them also, and we do respect that. But at the same time, if somebody is encroaching upon our existence, our parenting should develop that courage. When we say that the Hindu society is not together, Hindu society is often disintegrated. When calamities come, we need to gather everybody and develop that sense of oneness, and then we are ready. But naturally, we are spread out, we are weak. Why this kind of comments keep coming? For the very simple reason that we don't know who we are. We don't know what is that knowledge, what is that thoughts that we are made up of. How do I identify myself as a Hindu? Why I am a Hindu? If this question is asked, why am I a Hindu? Ask this question to yourself. Do you get one line answer? Other religions might get. Do you get? Do we get? Is a question. So have we really understood the essence of Hinduism? If we are confused, then that confusion is carried forwarded. So that is something which needs to be developed, and this course focuses on that, on developing the philosophical and spiritual foundation so strong that the culture, the behavior, rituals, sampradayas, all these things will fall in place. They all become independent, but believe me, that is an expression. Culture is an expression of philosophy. Philosophy should be clear and strong. One should know who I am, where from I come, what is the goal of my life, and how am I expected to act, and what am I expected to achieve, and how I can be happy. This is philosophy. If these questions are answered, automatically I know how to apply that into my behavior, into my day to day life, into my modes of entertainment, into my modes of getting information, into expressing myself, into doing and creating impact into the society. So, this philosophical foundation is missing in our society for decades together, I would say centuries. In bits and parts, in certain families, of course, it is there. And thanks to all of them, because of whom it is with us even today. So, I'm not talking about that 10% or 20% of families. Hats off to them. All my due respect to them. But what about remaining 70-80% of Hindus in whose families Hinduism is not practically practiced? Just one puja is conducted once in a year, and there is a lot of celebration around it, and that's the end of it. How are we expecting that our generation will carry forward this to their further generations? And how will they be equipped to answer all kinds of questions? And therefore, it is our responsibility that the philosophy of Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Yoga needs to be transferred to the new generation. But people think that children are so young. How will we talk about this? Will they sit in front of us? How to discuss this? How to bring these concepts into their life? And the course is all about that. As we think, children are smarter than us. Their brains are fresh and they understand it very quickly. They retain it for long. So, how can we bring this to them? They are ready to take it. It's we who have to develop a methodology and interest and create a need and then deliver things to them. So, this course will equip us how to do all these things and how to bring this profound insights. So, and then, of course, This is an emphasis on nurturing physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects, encouraging children to discover their true nature and potential, at the same time, instilling strong moral and ethical values by introducing concepts like karma, dharma, and many other concepts similar to that. So, overall view of this course is that it is a transformational journey for the parents which can be inculcated in the children according to their age. So we have beautiful epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. We have a huge literature from Ved, Upanishad to Darshan Shastra to Puranas to Ramayana, Mahabharata, and even later. We have great languages with us like Sanskrit, who is the mother language of all languages, and then our mother tongues. Unfortunately, they are vanishing these days. So, how can we stop from vanishing, um, from our mother tongues getting vanished? That is also one way, one method. So, what has led to that? How can we stop that? How can we develop? I just want to share a simple thing, this word called tatastha. Now, I speak Marathi at home, so we use this word tatastha, but it is a Sanskrit word. I'm sure many other languages will also have this word in them. So you can put it in the chat if your language has this word. So it means tata in Sanskrit means the bank of the river, and stha means sthira, that is being stable. One who can be stable on the bank of the river and watch the water flowing will have a better understanding of the river, will have a better understanding of the flow. And so we have to learn to be tatastha is what my language teaches me. Now this has a it has essence of the whole Upanishadic philosophy. This tatastha is so subtle that it helps in understanding what exactly meditation is. Tatastha helps in understanding what kind of relation management I need to do, how much I need to be involved in other person, and where I have to stay detached, where from a relation begins and where it stops. So how do I use this in my family, in my personal relations, in my social connections, in my geopolitics? So this word tatastha has meanings. It is multi-layered word. We can use it in different way. Now, if I don't know Marathi, there is a less possibility that I know Sanskrit. So I have lost my connection with this word tatastha, and then I close this window to the whole cultural and philosophical aspect of my being. So when our mother tongues are vanishing, we are closing all these windows for our kids. So how to work on that? How to bring that into their life? What are the different tools that we can use it? So such kind of discussions would also happen. And so the main objectives of Hindu parenting is delve into timeless Hindu philosophies and their contemporary application in child rearing. Explore the concepts of dharma, karma, atman, and relate that to parenting. And then discover methods for fostering children's spiritual growth alongside their intellectual and physical development. Not just that, but develop strategies for helping children navigate life challenges with resilience and wisdom. And then, of course, create a harmonious family environment where we are support to each other. Families should not be breaking, relations should not be creating huge distances, but they need to come closer. And then, of course, develop confidence, pride, and sense in belonging to Hindu culture. Now, this can be developed only when this confidence, pride, and sense of belonging is created for the parents, for each other. If that is lost, then the whole attachment with the culture, with philosophy, with language is lost. So, in the process of parenting, where this is happening, and then we also will be discussing about handling our relation as parents within ourselves, as husband-wife relation. How do we conduct ourselves? How do we respect each other? How much can we? And therefore, I would say that I would invite couples to join this course because it is also enriching ourselves in our personal relations as an individual, as in personal relations, and then bringing it into our family and to the kids. So if this is developed, if this belongingness is there, then there is no embarrassment and shyness about being a Hindu, being a Sanatani, being a person who believes in Upanishads. So these days, people are saying that I am not religious, I am spiritual. That is one way of seeing it. But ask them, what is being spiritual? What is the goal of your spirituality? What is spirit? When you say spiritual, what is spirit? Then each religion talks differently about spirit. Sanatan Dharma talks much more than spirit. Spirit is on a very earlier stage. We talk about Brahman, we talk about Atman, which cannot be translated. Consciousness cannot be the right word for Brahman. So, what does it really means? If the parents are clear about this, all your sharp kids, just let them ask questions. Now, we have another course that is growing up with Gita, and I have children from age 11 to 25, and I enjoy that course like anything because they are amazing. They ask questions, they shoot questions towards you, and then you need to answer them, have discussions. So that same environment can be created in our homes, in our families, over the dinner table. And when the whole family is soaked into this kind of an understanding, nothing extra patchwork needs to be done. So these days we see courses where they tell us how to, this is a parenting webinar and how to create confidence in your child. Okay, so confidence has this, is translated as Atma Vishwas in Sanskrit. Atma Vishwas. So what is Atma? What is this self confidence? Who is self? What are the layers of this self? We talk about Panchakosha. We talk about different stages of awareness. So Vishwasa, confidence. So, confidence in your divinity is fundamental. When I believe that I am divine, I am part of divinity, all that Sat Chit Ananda exists within me, nobody can let me down. Nobody can try to put me down. Nobody can make me feel inferior. And I will have that courage to speak the truth because I will never fear what I will lose. I have nothing to lose. I am complete. So, this level of confidence, if we can bring into our children, they will become leaders. So, how to develop leadership, how to develop confident children, how to develop fearless generation, we have answers in Sanatan Dharma. We just need to understand them, create an interesting recipe. All mothers will understand what I'm saying, and just put it in front of the children. They will fall in love with it and they will want more and more. This is our course. This is Hindu Dharmic Parenting. That we have great things, just we need to bring it into modern times, think from the ancient wisdom perspective, and see the current challenges. And let us see how we can bring it into that. This is required. Dharma is dynamic, it is not static. We will have to leave some things, we will have to add few things. If our generation is not going to do this, who will do this? We cannot just sit and cry that my kids is not speaking my language, my kid is not coming to the temple, my kid is not meditating. We cannot be losers. We cannot be losers. We need to understand our dharma. We need to understand our philosophy and take this challenge, because this period of time in the larger scenario is a transformational time when the whole of geopolitics is changing, when people's awareness about their religion is changing. Hindus need to be confident, together, and courageous, and should have knowledge about themselves, is what I strongly feel. If our community is fearing, if they are behaving like cowards, that shows that we are ignorant about our Hindu Dharma. We are ignorant about the basic fundamental philosophy. And if not now, never. And therefore, this is like a Shiva Dhanusha. We all need to get this and take it to the new generation. And so we are making this humble effort of bringing in this course. So this course will be for 90 minutes. It will include presentations, interactive sessions, and activities. It will address real life situations and challenges. and bridge ancient wisdom with the modern realities. I'll take few minutes more to give you just a glimpse of what we would be doing in different weeks. So our part 1 has 10 weeks, part 2 has 11 weeks. So this will be a 21-week course. We will thoroughly immerse into it. It will take care of the modern psychological insights. It will take care of Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita and yoga insights, and it will take care of our current situation and problems and how to deal with that. So this is a course for self growth. This is a course of parenting. So first week starts with understanding the need and significance of Hindu parenting. What makes Hindu parenting different from other parentings? What makes Hinduism different from other ways of thought? What is the essence and what is the strength of our Hinduism? That will be one aspect. And then, of course, combating with misconceptions about Hinduism. And then it follows with decolonizing the mindset. Politically, we say we were freed in 1947. Are we really free? Are we really independent? Can we think courageously? Are we independent? Can we think independently? Or are we people pleasing kind of a community? When we go wherever and we say yes to everything that others are doing, do I have knowledge and confidence about myself? It is a check, we need to, there will be quizzes, there will be interactions, and we will find answers to our own selves. We will open the doors of our own windows which we closed with fear. We need to open them and just face ourselves and then get a roadmap for the future. So this is decolonizing the mindset. Academically, there has been a lot of colonization. We as immigrants, when we come here, we tend to fall in this trap. While I'm talking to you, I am not an exception to that. We all come from an education pattern which was followed for past 70 years back in India. That has created this, rather not rescued us from the colonized mindset. So we need to first, purify ourselves, decolonize ourselves, and come to our original thought processes, and let us be insider into Hinduism. Currently, we are like an outsider. So we need to understand what is the difference in being insider and outsider. So this is a week which will be a week of realization where we understand where we are. Then, of course, fundamental principles of parenting. So what are the responsibilities, boundaries, and limitations of parenting? We are not gods. We are parents. And parenting is not a one way process. It is a teamwork. So we need to have good members in our team, willing members, interested members. So how to create that? So otherwise, there are also limitations. There are natural limitations also. We'll be talking about that. Then, of course, we will be talking about the contemporary parenting theories that modern psychology has been talking about. They also have very good insights. They have developed very good techniques. See, knowledge is not for one society or one civilization. Knowledge is global. So wherever there are good thoughts, we need to be open, good techniques, we need to be open. We'll try to understand what it is. And then we will try to bring it into our style of parenting. Then, of course, in the fifth week, we will be developing a personalized roadmap for dharmic parenting. Then in the sixth week, we will be exploring dharmic resources that we have. So we have huge resources from starting from Ved, Upanishad, Puran, Ramayana, Mahabharat, Manusmriti, Darshan Granthas, Panchatantra, Arthashastra, Natya Shastra. So most of the parents are not aware about this. So we will make an humble effort to and make them aware about what we have. So we have a big basket. So we need to know what we have, and then we will know how to distribute that. And then, of course, along with that, we will also have a survey of philosophical traditions that we have, like Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Dvaita, Bhakti movements, Vaishnavism, Shaivism, modern Indian philosophers, Vivekananda, Aurobindo. What has been happening in this field? We need to have an overview of that. So this week we'll be understanding this whole tradition because parents need to be aware. Now, think about parents who are not here for the webinar. Because you are here for webinar, you have a basic inclination, understanding and knowledge of this subject. But there is a huge population outside. So we need to reach to them also, and then they need to understand this treasure that we have. So they will be also proud and they will take it to the future generation. Then in the eighth week is about understanding and exploring self identity. Identity dimensions are there: geographical, social, cultural, religious, and spiritual. So, with the help of concepts like Panchakosha, Atman, Jiva, Paramatman, Moksha, Brahman, how can we create a beautiful identity with the children? And believe me, I am into this field for past more than 25, now 30 years, I would say. I've been working with younger children since I was very young. So I had this opportunity to work with the children because my father was into this, and we used to take shivir, as it was called in India, with younger children. And now that my kids are off to college, I've seen a long span of generation and kids going ahead. And I have this confidence that if we as parents are courageous and if we have the knowledge, we develop, we are very creative, and we can take this to youngest child as old as even 1 year or 2 year old. See, anything that is beautiful, anything that is strong, anything that is attractive, human beings are attracted to. We need to create that thing within us, and then this is a treasure. This feel we should have, and then we will take this treasure to the new generation. It is not that difficult as it appears. It shouldn't be always boring. It shouldn't be always burden. Because Anandat Brahmeti Vajanat, Ananda, happiness, is the goal of human life. Happiness which comes from within. Now, that is the treasure. If we are taking it to the children, the process also should be a happy process. It should not come from over strictness. It should not come by putting constraints on the children. It should be theirs. It shouldn't be our thing that we are giving to them. It should be their thing that they are developing. This is a perspective. Of course, in the ninth week, we will be talking about karma, nishkama karma, rebirth, dharma, swadharma, shreyas, prayas. We will take stories from Upanishads, certain stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata. And then in the 10th week, we will be talking about the moral values, essential Hindu values in respect to Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, and the tools to take them to the children, how we can take them at different age groups, of course. So, right from Garbha Sanskara to the age of 25, till the time they become parent, the process continues, and we will discuss on these different levels. Then, of course, our part 2 will start in winter. I just want you to have a very quick glimpse of, because that is also equally important. We will be talking about Ashtanga Yoga in the first week. That is balancing success, competition, excellence, achievement with inner peace. The next week will be all about practical yoga. How we can create a daily routine for our kids and ourselves in this busy schedule of ours. What practical yoga should we integrate into our life? At the same time, Ayurvedic principles, what kind of food we can have, when we could have. So week 3 will be about in bringing in Ayurveda into our life. Week 4 will be understanding the concept of Ishvara and different deities in our tradition, their significance, and related to that, there are festivals, there are different rituals happening in the house. So, how to understand their significance, how to take it ahead with our little time that we have in our daily life. We will also get to know about the 16 sanskaras, Sora Sanskar, as we say in Marathi, 16 sanskaras, which a human being has to follow according to Sanatan Dharma, what significance it has. We will explore the concept of Purushartha in modern terms. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So, 6 week will be about that. Of course, Ramayana and Mahabharata in week 7. And then week 8 will be about understanding the interpersonal relationship between the family, at the same time parent parent relationship. So that will be more about if the husband respects the wife and if the wife respects the husband, if they love each other, children are the happiest member in the family. But if there is some tension and stress at that level, whatever you do, however how many classes you put them into, things are not going to work out as expected. And therefore that relationship is the essence of parenting. So we will be talking about that in week 8. Week 9 is about self awareness, Atma Bodh, and self care. How to take self care, how to love ourselves, how to create friendship within ourselves. We don't have to always search friends outside. These days, people don't like friendship with themselves. They don't like to connect with themselves. Poor thing, they always go in there with their cell phones. If you are not enjoying your company, why will people enjoy your company? Are we enjoying our own company? Is a question. How to develop that? That is self awareness and self care. Of course, navigating with family relationships. How to now, children always move in their own age groups. Earlier, they had this opportunity in a bigger family to interact with all age groups. Nowadays, that is not happening. And because of language barrier, they are not even interacting with their cousins and grandparents. So they just move out at the age of 18 to the college. Again, they are moving within their peer group. One fine day they fall in love and they get into relationship and then they don't know how to interact with other age groups. That creates a bad impact even in their careers, even in the professional world outside. Even the corporate culture is getting affected because of that. Political structures are getting affected. It is that deep and subtle. So how to navigate through that? That is week 9. Of course, everything in context with Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Yoga, and modern insights. Week 10 is about navigating through conflicts. Conflicts are natural. So, how to handle them at different level, how to navigate them. And conflicts also help us to enrich. So, how to get enriched even in the midst of conflict. That is all about week 10. And of course, week 11 is an interactive discussion, and then you will be writing some papers, and we would be reading them in the class. So, yes, this is all about our parenting course, which we are coming in the two parts. I think, did I take long time, Ankurji?
No, that was so good. I put a link to the course in the chat. We have a few questions. Yeah. So yeah, VJG says, fantastic presentation. Let me launch the quick poll right now. Let's see if people can fill that out. If you're interested. I know there's a few people who have taken other courses with you. If they'd like to get on also. The recording will be available. Yes, VJG. Avinash G is asking, do you include material to address children's questions about eating meat? Right. And this is one of
Yes,
those things
yes,
that we also discuss. What are the range of topics and common concerns that you get into? I know you even get into relationships. You know,
yes,
how do you cover that? Because that's a difficult
yes,
topic that
yes.
many parents
We
have.
will
And so,
have a session where all these questions will come. Why should I not eat cow meat? Why should I not eat or eat meat? Why should I not go into relationships? Should I go into living relationships? Why should I marry? Why should I have kids? I mean, different age groups will have different questions. So we need to create a dialogue, and we need to have some perspective of ours. And then when there is a dialogue, of course, things work out better.
great. And then yeah, that's exactly what Avinash was getting into. Dairy is another one of those you know, difficult subjects now. If you really get into it, I've seen the documentaries, and if you're calling,
Yes,
you know, Gai Mata, if you're calling the cow holy, and then the way that the American factory farm system treats these cows, that's
yes,
another one. Yes, Avinash is making that point. Sonia Paul, will this be a good course for older children along with a parent?
yes, yes. Any child above 15 should also be eligible for this course, because uh, they are equally and they can think and talk about all of this. In fact, they can add additional inputs in the discussions. So elder children are also welcome.
Nice. Vijayji says he's going to forward the link to all the young families he knows. He's been working with the Friends of HUA in the Houston area. he's encouraging other folks to do it as well. And if you'd like to plug into the Friends of HUA, this is our kind of organizing chapter by chapter, city by city, where people want to, with the students, for events, for lectures and guest speaking opportunities. Kalika ji has done this in North Carolina and other places as well. So if you want to talk
In
on
fact,
that.
Ankurji, if some of our members are able to collect a group of 15-20 people, and if they are willing and if they want to know more about our course and if they are willing to join, we can have a dialogue with them. You know, that way, if we can add into this activity, all the members who are here, if you can just talk to 10-15 more members, and then if they feel interested, we can talk to them. We want more and more people to come so that we can, anyways, I'm going to talk. So more people is more impact. So that is one thing.
Yeah, and if it's a restaurant, if it's your home, if it's the local mandir, that's obviously a good partner for Hindu University of America, and it makes it easier, and it's something that we can definitely do more of as we are invited to more of these opportunities. So that's great. Let me see, did the poll come up? Did people start filling it out? About 24 people, 27 people out of the 60 have filled it out. So if you see the poll, hit the minimize, maximize, try to fill it out. Let us know either way. Lakshmi ji, Dr. Nanda Kumar from Bhartiya Vidya Bhavan in the London area. Yeah, we have a in the UK, right? We have a couple folks that have been interested and I need to connect with, so I'll follow that up. It's one of my the parents who come to the
So
Bhavan,
somebody
right?
is also asking in the chat about my email. So maybe if we can share that in the chat, Ankurji.
Yeah, I'll put your HOA email in the chat.
Hmm. And one question is interesting. They're saying any suggestions to handle the negative propaganda from other forces. So, yes, make your line so big that other lines look small. So, when we are handling negative propaganda, one thing we can always do is positively empower our kids with the real knowledge. So, negative propaganda automatically loses its strength, and not just that, our knowledge also should be broadcasted, presented, more often spoken of with pride and with love. And if that is coming into our behavior as a society, that still creates a major impact. So sometimes I don't have to keep telling I'm a Hindu, I'm a Sanatani, I'm a Hindu, but the way I conduct myself, the way I react to situations, the way I deal with people, if that is creating a difference in the society, automatically I am spreading out that. So if I am healthy physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, then I am a role model. So if we can try to become role models and create role models, that is a bigger power that will stay for generations together. So this negative propaganda can be tackled. We just need to be more proactive, uh, more integrated with integrity. If we come with all these things, I think we still have a lot of scope.
Great. Yeah. Okay, couple more. Thank you. Yes. If you haven't put in the chat where you're zooming in from, I can still give you a chat out as we're closing today's webinar. A few more questions. Various temples, right? Balshankar, Balvihar. Yes, yes.
Ankurji, Lush ji is saying that if you can contact Dr. Nandakumar from Bhartiya Vidya Bhavan, London, we can collaborate. Man. This is a good,
Yes.
yeah.
Took that note as well. We'll do that follow-up. Okay. So, Dr. Udhakar has taught many courses that have gone deep into the Shad Darshanas, different Shastras. So, somebody's asking, apart from theistic faith-based philosophies such as Advaita Dvaita? Are you planning on covering other Sanatana philosophical traditions such as Mimamsa, Sankhya, and how will you cover that, or how will you incorporate that?
Okay, so see, in this course, this is mainly course on parenting. So we will be giving introduction of Shad Darshanas, we will be giving introduction of Upanishadic philosophy, but we have independent courses from HUA. Personally, I conduct courses in Upanishads part 1 and 2. I have introduction to Shad Darshana. Then for children, some of you are asking if they can be, if you want your kids to come, we have a very beautiful course called Growing Up with Gita. So kids can directly enroll and they can have discussions, and all these concepts will be taught to them. Apart from my courses, we have great faculty at HUA, and we have different kinds of courses. You can visit our website, and then this is a process, it's a beginning. So eventually we can enrich ourselves by learning from different courses and add up into our bank. So this will not be one place where everything will be taught in detail, because time is a constraint. We can go on every day for a whole year, even then it would not end. So this is an introduction, this is an awareness, and this will give you a holistic view of parenting with different parenting skills. But content-wise, we will have to keep enriching ourselves. So you all are welcome to HUA, take different courses, and we would also,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Jayashriji was just asking the same kind of line. Why not have a kids course so they can hear directly from you? Well, Kalikaji herself is teaching the Growing Up with the Gita course. She's taught 2 batches where the students specifically have taken the course with her. But to get students, you have to have parents. So after offering the course to kids a couple times successfully, a couple batches were very nice. Kalikaji may want to speak to that. But this Hindu parenting is where the need is. And parents, if you say, I'll put my kid into the course and I won't learn, come on, like kids learn by example. So that's one of those things where Jayashriji, yes, we do have kids course where Kalikaji is teaching, and we'll offer it. Again, time is a factor for what information can be in a particular course and how many courses a faculty can offer in a given quarter. Right. So we have many faculty from around the world teaching different things, but Kalikaji herself is got also, series of commitments as well. So she can't offer every course every quarter, but maybe if you want to
Maybe
speak to
Ankurji,
that a little bit.
I think we spoke about this. We would be offering this course in spring also, Growing Up with Gita. So, that is a time when kids are relatively able to join. Spring, summer, we usually have this course in that period of time. So, all your teenagers are welcome. Um, so,
Yeah, and actually, we've had a 6-week version, a 10-week version, so that it fits into summer break or it fits
yes.
into other ways. So we can be creative with when we offer which course so that the target audience can actually enroll. So we'll be keeping ear out for that. If you follow the HOA Buzz, we kind of do that course spotlight. So Sonia Ji, yes, it'll be spring, summer. We'll be offering the next Growing Up with the Gita course. Thank you for asking that. Rajniji, do we have Saturday and Sunday courses? We have a lot of Saturday and Sunday courses. We have designed many of our programs for working professionals. So a lot of weeknights, weekend courses we have. And we're also trying to address the time zone issue, because we have students from East Coast, West Coast, India, UK. We just brought it up. That's been a difficult trying to figure that out. But
But in
yes, we have
UK,
lots of
if
Saturday
we get a
courses.
group, Ankurji, we are ready to adjust to the timings also. Yeah, so it is not just HUA, but you all are part of HUA, and if you can take this ahead, create a group, create more people, this will get a bigger momentum. So at HUA we are ready. Now you also need to come up with more people, and then we can collaborate.
That's a good point, right? At HUA, we are ready. We've continued to offer different courses. We've got the infrastructure, we've got the learning management system, we've got 80 faculty. We're raising funds to go in to make it all work. And so the limiting factor is students. If we can have more students take more courses, then as Kalikaji said, we can offer them according to your time zone, maybe to your geography even, right? If we can have in-person courses in different places, we've started having retreats, but if you can bring a group of friends, family, whomever together for, again, I'm happy to coordinate, and Kalikaji is now on our community education committee. It's an academic committee that's formed, and we're working to address these things as they come up now. We do have that capacity. We're continuing to build and grow, and please do participate. Yeah, Rajniji, the details are basically if we can have 10 to 15, 15 is a good number. Then we can be very flexible with it. If you can give 5 or 10, then we got to figure out how to still make it fit within the general
See,
setup.
we need 7 to 8 couples for this course. So that makes 15 people. Okay. So it is that simple. If you can bring in 7 to 8 couples, and if they are ready, we will think about how to reach to them, how to cater to their timings and geography. So it is all about, we all as, interested people into Hinduism, we as Hindus and all that, HUA is nothing without the support of the society. Without the support of this ecosystem, universities cannot grow. So we are doing our best, but from your side, if you are coming up with bringing more people to the university, we will make our best effort to give them best content in the best way. So, that way this ecosystem starts moving fast. So, yeah, I mean, there's no pressure, but if you're really willing to do that, we are here. We can always respond.
Great. And Aparna Dave says her children are grown. They visited India, know Sanskrit and culture, but she wants to take the class for helping the community and my grandkids in the future.
Yes.
Exactly what you're talking about, the ecosystem. Will this course help? Absolutely. Grandma's welcome for sure.
Yes, all grandmas, grandfathers, they are welcome. Uncle, aunties, teachers, educators, all are welcome. Even would-be parents. Mm. So there are premarital counseling sessions that I take otherwise. So, that also includes this parenting aspect to it. Because couples are in love and they are good to each other as long as kids are not there. And the real challenge begins when the kid is in the picture. So, what parenting style and everything starts from there. So, this course is also for them.
Great. Let me drop in the chat one more time the link to the course. It was pretty active chat for us. Here is the link. You can click through and register right there. It's going to be on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern to 10:30, starting October 15th. That's this batch. And again, as we talked about, if we can set up another batch, we can work through that pretty quickly. We're in a quarter system in the community education division, so we have this opportunity to try new courses, iterate, and again, Dr. Whitaker has been there from very close to the beginning and has been a wonderful faculty and helping us develop and cater to you all, our students, supporters, and all of that. So glad to be here with you today. Saturday morning webinar for me. Another one. Any last questions, comments, and then I'll give it to Dr. Kalikaji for closing thoughts. Maybe a mantra if she feels.
Okay. So, a simple question: what is the essence of Hinduism? What is the essence of Hinduism? What is it that we are trying to give to our kids? I would say there are 5 major points. The first is Vivek, that they should have the ability to decide and choose what they want to consume, what they want to, how they want to act. So then is self-control, that I know that I have to go jogging early morning, I have to do Surya Namaskar in the morning, but I'm not able to get up in the morning. So I know what to do, but I'm not able to do. There is a gap in between which can be overcome by self control. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha, atha yoganuशासनम. That is what yoga says. So anushasana, abhyas, that is self-control. Atma bodh, who am I? What is my real nature? What is my purpose? So Atma bodh is the third thing. Chitta shuddhi, of course. Kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsar, all these affect my emotions. So how do I handle my emotion? How do I get my emotional stability? However intelligent I might be, but emotionally I am weak. I cannot do anything in this life. Emotional stability is a must. So that is an essence of Hinduism. And last but not least, it is about karma. What kind of actions do I do? So this forms the essence, philosophical essence of Hinduism. This nurtures the tree from the roots and it flowers and blooms beautifully. So let us help ourselves to bloom better and help others to bloom and create a better society. So I would say Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyurma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Thank you.